Go? Okay. Good evening. I'm David Grant. I'm here at Francine Bistro here in Camden, Maine. Francine's is, for my money, the very, very best restaurant in town, and certainly my favorite restaurant to eat, and I eat here as often as I possibly can. This is the dining room at Francine, the bar. It's a small place. It gets to be very active. It has a lovely ambiance. The menu, which you can see, is dated, and it has 4 starters, often 2 salads, and 4 main courses. The starters include wonderful soups, usually some oysters, something unusual, always fish, and always a steak. There's a great wine list, and they do some wonderful wines by the glass, and some spectacular desserts, and the bread is made here as well. This evening, the menu at Francine is featuring several things that are very, very interesting, including roasted pemmican oysters with foie gras and a fennel marmalade. Although, I think if I was you, I'd probably order the fancy mushroom salad with watercress, cipollini onions, and Parmesan cheese. It's going to be very bright, and he has very nice acidity to his salads. And day-boat halibut is something that you just don't find very often outside of Maine. Most of the time the halibut is long-lined and it takes days to get into market. Here in Maine, it comes in every day. So it's really spectacular and incredibly fresh. And today, Brian is doing it with caramelized cabbage and a spicy scallop curry, which will be on the side and possibly a little bit over the fish. It should be delicious. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's a little cold here today. As a matter of fact, it was about 0 when I woke up. So it was a hard idea to come out, as Brian said, to come out into the tundra. But here I am. That's what good food will do. It'll bring you out of your house when you'd rather stay home.
We have made David a little mushroom salad here. It's king oyster mushrooms, shiitakes, regular locally grown oyster mushrooms, watercress, caramelized cipollini onions, and there's a little bit of truffle salt on top. Enjoy.
Thank you. I look forward to it. As you can see, the greens are barely dressed. The salad is nicely presented. The shaved Parmesan doesn't hide anything, and you can smell the earthy smell of the mushrooms. It's just spectacular. You know, you eat with your eyes as much as you do with your mouth, and that's important to remember when you're eating food of this quality. And this is food of quality. So now I get to do what I do best, which is to taste. It's just wonderful. The mushrooms are warm. The watercress is just a little wilted, as it should be, and the warmth spreads through the cheese. And the truffle salt, it's earthy and salty. It's a lovely addition to the dish. Maybe I can get Jim to bring me a glass of wine. How about a little bit of red? Please. It's a wonderful choice. Jim has chosen a Cru Beaujolais, so it's red, but it's not overpowering. It's got some fruit to it. It's not too alcohol, and it's just a perfect choice to go with this dish. Notice the glassware. It's very good glassware. It makes a difference. Absolutely delicious. I do so love to eat.
Got a nice little surprise here. We have some caramelized scallop curry, cabbage cooked with miso, and some beautiful day-boat halibut. It's from Nova Scotia.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm sure the camera can pick up what I can smell. You can pick up the herbs, but you definitely pick up the sense of the curry. Beautifully, beautifully browned fish. which to me makes all the difference in the world. I don't like fish that's not a nice crust on it. And it's perfectly cooked on the inside, just barely cooked. And the scallops, absolutely delicious. Couldn't be any nicer. Brian has a wonderful sense of color as well as a sense of taste, which is really important. And he keeps the textures separate. It's not a dish that's that hard to do, but it's a dish that's hard to do well. I think that's the big difference. This restaurant's greatest strength, not only his food, it's the room, the feeling of the room, and the fact that your neighbors eat here. You can often speak to another table and laugh with them about a joke that they might have told, or see somebody having a birthday party. They're happy to be here, and they're feeling very privileged that we have Francine Bistro here in Camden. I know I am. It's the same wine, goes well with both. That's why it's so well chosen. Brightness, just can't beat it. Just can't beat it. Delicious food and a lovely atmosphere. Go. This is David Grant again. I get to sit with Brian Hill for a moment, the chef owner of Francine Bistro here in Camden. Those were just wonderful dishes. Again, it speaks to your strengths of color, imagination, and execution. And where do you do your own bread here, don't you?
We do. We've worked on it for a couple of years now, and it changes every day, whether we like it or not. And it seems to get better. I think it likes us.
I think it does. I mean, it's certainly one of the strengths when you first sit down here. It speaks to you, just as the produce and the freshness of the ingredients that you use. And over the years, I've begun to admire your style, and certainly I've stolen some ideas from you, which for me is the highest compliment.
Thank you so much.
And you do a lot with local things, and you've developed a real following of people who come to your door to sell to you.
You know, I grew up here, and I learned the way that that vegetables taste here, and Maine produces such great local produce, from cheeses to vegetables to local chickens and beef. It's just a magical place. So that's what makes my job worthwhile, is that I get to put all these great things together and put them all on a plate where, you know, so many people don't get to do that. So that's the special part of my job.
It's a joy to encounter a cook who really loves to cook, and I know that's true about Brian. And we're very lucky in Camden to have him here.
Thanks for coming by, guys.
Thank you. Okay.
Bene, bene.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Maybe you guys could kiss.
Yeah, right. Mutual Admiration Society.
I rub his boobs the
There
whole
you go,
time.
the whole time, right. This is January. I don't drink in January.
Neither do I.
Oops, sorry.
Pump it up right from
Yes, quick time.